My channel. So as you can already tell, in today's video I will share with you guys how I created this makeup look for Halloween. I followed a tutorial by Cosmobyhaley on YouTube. She's a YouTuber and she uploaded this Halloween makeup tutorial, and so I followed it. So this is my end result. So yeah, it's actually pretty easy. This is the very first time I'm using latex and doing these sort of gory makeups, so surprisingly it's doable. As you can see, this is my first time and I did it, so if you want to try out her tutorial, feel free to do so. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so starting with a clean face, I'm going to begin by gluing down my brow. I will only be gluing down one side because for the other side, I wanted to do it how I usually do because I wanted brows that I'm comfortable with. Next, I'm moving right into the latex because the latex will take a while to dry, so you want to do that first. So basically, you're gonna create a heart shape using tissue paper and latex layers. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to conceal my eyebrow embroidery as well as brighten up my under eye, which I think was a little bit unnecessary. But anyways, I'm using the Puli Puli and Custom Flawless Concealer in the shade Natural. Next, I will be applying a tone-up cream, and this is basically a whitening, brightening cream, which I've never used. But I'm going to apply 2 layers of this because the Queen of Hearts is very pale. Next, I'm going in with my palest foundation, which is the Nouba Staminal foundation. I actually used this last year or 2 years back, I can't remember. I used this foundation for my Harley Quinn Halloween makeup look. So yeah, I only use this foundation when it's Halloween. So this is in the shade 101, which is the lightest one. After I've done my brows, I remembered that I forgot to set my foundation, and so I'm going in with the Gosh Prime and Set loose powder, and I used this in my Halloween makeup looks last year or 2 years ago as well. So now let's move on to eyeshadows. I'll be using this eyeshadow palette that my boyfriend's mom got me from China. So it's like a really cheap eyeshadow palette, I believe, but surprisingly the shades are really pigmented, as you will be able to see in the footage. So first up, I'll be using the darkest blue shade and applying it on my outer corners, and then I'll be going in with the bluest shade that I can find in the palette, and I'll be applying this all over my lids. Honestly, I can't really remember the steps, but I think after that I used a light blue and applied it over so it has a little bit more dimension. And then I also used a purple shade for my outer corners to darken the look a little bit. Since this is a Halloween look, I thought I would darken up the eyeshadows a little bit more by using a black eyeshadow on my outer corners as well. Finally, I'm applying a pale blue shade on my inner corners to highlight. Now that we're done with eyeshadows, I'm just going to line my eyes, and I did a pretty dramatic, well, dramatic for me, eyeliner, wing eyeliner, and then after that I will be applying mascara. Okay, so now it is time for our wound. So I took a pair of small scissors and I just cut around the heart shape. I sort of ripped the latex out of my skin in some parts, and so I did go back in with more latex to just like fix it in place. So now that our heart shape is cut out, it is time to make it gore and realistic looking. And so I am just mixing a bunch of red eyeshadow colors from the same palette, and I also use this brick red eyeshadow from the Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette from Anastasia, Beverly Hues. So other than red eyeshadows, I also used a dark purple eyeshadow on the outer edges of the wound to create like a swollen effect, I guess, or like a bruised effect. And I also used dark brown eyeshadows to give it more dimension. Now that it's done, it is time to slot in those cards, which is probably the most difficult part. It was really difficult for me to find the right fit. I guess also because I did it freehand, like I didn't draw anything. So I also used latex to help glue it in place. Again, waiting for the latex to dry, I will be applying my blush, and I'll be using the NARS Orgasm blusher, which is my favorite blush. So now I will work on my lips. So first of all, I will be using the Puli Puli Creamy Glow blush in the shade Erotic. So I'll just be using this and creating like a blurry heart shape around my lips. Next, going in with a red lipstick, I'm just using this random one that Beauty Big Bang sent me a couple of months ago. And I will use this to draw a heart shape on my lips. Finally, we're on to our very last part, which is the blood. I got this tube of fake blood from FairPrice, so I'll be using this and applying this all on the inner portion of the wound and trying to let it drip naturally, as well as a little bit on the cards. And we are done. That was how I recreated Cosmobyhaley's Halloween makeup look. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye!